Hey everybody. The purpose of this video is going to be for looking at the Master Tinkerer, no, the Master Trinketeer, or Trinketeer trophy, for getting the 3 items in Casey's mod. This uses the oil painting that's in the room that you're in. It's just like Act 1. If you're not familiar with it, in Act 1, if you step away from the table, and you'll see me do it here in just a minute, and look at the oil painting that's to the right of the safe, you'll see 2 cards laid out in the 4 slots where you normally place your cards. So we are looking to get the Raven's Egg and the Moose Buck. Place the Raven's Egg on the left slot and the Moose Buck on the right slot. And we already have the opportunity to take the Moose Buck. It's just going to take us a while to get the Raven's Egg. So in Act 1, you can do this and you can get 3 items. You can get the Clover, which allows you to re-roll the cards that you can choose from for certain card events. You get the 3rd Candlestick, which allows you to fail 2 card battles twice before getting into real trouble. And the Bee, which turns your squirrel cards into bees with a power of 1 and a health of 1. So that's what you can do in Act 1. You can do that, I believe, starting on the 2nd or 3rd run. There's certain things that are just locked off from you being able to use or do, including the whole bone economy, I guess you could call it. You know, spending bones, collecting bones while you're playing, and you can't really access a lot of the talking cards and the squirrel head for the totem, and you don't even see the woodcarver or the mycologist until maybe 3rd or 4th run in Act 1. So in Casey's mod, you have access to everything the first time. You unlock new cards with each level that you get through, but there's nothing in the room other than that oil painting and one other thing that you can kind of unlock. The other thing is, if you use the same combination, I believe it's 273 on the safe, and open up the safe during Casey's mod, you'll get a 2nd record that you can play that has, I believe, music from the developers' other games, previous games. But other than the record in the safe and this oil painting puzzle that you can do 3 times, they have to be in 3 consecutive runs. They can't be, you can't get any of the oil paintings and then solve another oil painting in the same Casey's mod run. Once you get these 3 items, you'll have the trophy that we're looking at, and there really won't be anything else around the room that's worth looking at. You can walk around and look at stuff, but there's no other puzzles and there's nothing else to get from solving anything. So again, this is level 2 of Casey's mod. This was my original run on my primary account. I had probably failed level 1 a good handful of times. The vanilla starter deck, it's not very useful, to be honest. And after playing Act 1, then Act 2, then Act 3, and then going back to Casey's mod, which is practically Act 1 again, I just kind of had to get through a few games before I got back into the swing of playing against Leshy and having that kind of roguelite. I mean, there really isn't a roguelite part to this, other than, well, I mean, I guess you could say it does, because you unlock cards, you get these items from the oil painting, and you can use them from now on. So, of course, and there I lost a card battle, so we're getting close to it, but I'm not going to end up dying. You see the fishhook there. Fishhook is unlocked from the beginning of Casey's mod, but one of the 4 challenge things you can select. And you need to select 2 of them to get through level 1, because they're 5 points each. You need 10 points to get to succeed level 1. And I think it's 20 points for level 2, 30 points for level 3, and so on and so forth. It's pretty much just 10 points each level more that you need to do. And a lot of the challenge items that you can pick, the further up you go through the levels, some of the challenges are worth like 30 up to 50 points. But that challenge is not something you're gonna really want to do unless you really want to challenge yourself. That's the All Grizzlies challenge, and we'll take a look at that in the Skullstorm video. So I'm putting down my Raven's Egg here in hopes that I do get the Moose Buck and we can do this quickly. I think it takes we got another like 10 minutes left, probably about 8 minutes left of the video. So I figured I'm gonna talk about the 3 items that you get and how useful they are, and then maybe a few Casey's mod tips while we're playing it. So unfortunately this is just capture from me getting the 3rd item. I don't have capture of me getting the 1st and 2nd item. Both of those I believe I got while I was working on level 1. The first item you get is the Magickal Bleach, and it is very useful, and you're definitely going to want to get it as soon as you can, because without it you can't get Bad Moon, which is the trophy for defeating Leshy at the end of a Casey's mod run without killing the 40 point health Moon. The video trophy guide for how to do that is already out on YouTube. Put it out before I went and made this video, and it is also the end of my successful level 1 Casey's mod run. So that is the Magickal Bleach. It's good to use for Bad Moon, and also if you're really running into an issue as you're playing and there's a line of cards in front of you and they all have just one of those horrible sigils, whether it's Foundling or Touch of Death, or I'm trying to think of all the other ones that just kind of, or Bifurcated or Trifurcated. When you're up against a bunch of Mantises and Mantis Gods, yeah, it's definitely painful when the shoe's on the other foot, because Mantis God is pretty much the be-all and end-all of a good Casey's mod run, and when you have to fight 3 or 4 of them and they're hitting you 3 times each, yeah, that's bad. So Magickal Bleach, very useful to have. And again, the way these work is you get it when you complete the oil painting puzzle. You'll be able to get it, put it on the table, and use it. Once you use it, it'll now be part of the rotation of what shows up in your backpack. You will not be guaranteed to get one during a Casey's mod run, but if you continually cycle through and use your backpack items, you get pack rats, or you visit the backpack event enough, hopefully you'll see it in every run or 2, you know. So once you get it, definitely hold on to it, grab it, and use it for whatever you feel is the best use of that item. The second item is called a Wise Clock, and it is a clock with some purple, pinkish, maybe fuchsia kind of little cells to it. And what that does is when you use that item, it takes the middle 4 rows and your 4 slots, I should say. So the 4 slots in the middle and the 4 slots that you're putting your cards down, and it rotates all 8 of those slots 1 card or 1 slot to the left. This will become very necessary to use during your Skullstorm runs. Once you get to, I believe it's the very last challenge, the second to last, I should say. It's the 15th challenge that you unlock. I'm sorry, 14th challenge that you unlock out of 15. The last one being kind of like the secret end Casey's Mod boss. But the last challenge you unlock in Casey's Mod is something that you may or may not have seen as you were playing Act 1. And it's basically, it's called the All Grizzlies challenge, I think. Basically, it sounds like a TikTok or something. But basically what happens in Act 1, if you play too well in Act 1 and you get past the point where the tutorial basically ends and they expect you to lose, if you are still playing well and not losing, they need to make sure, just like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, all that kind of stuff, you're going to end up in a situation where you cannot win. And what happens is Leshy will remove all of his cards and he will fill all 8 slots with Grizzlies. And in Act 1, you don't have the ability to actually fight those. But in Casey's Mod, once you have unlocked all these other cards, and you have the Wise Clock, and you have the Magic Bleach, you have Scissors at your disposal, which you always have and have had in Act 1 as well, then you can actually get through. You can get through that challenge. We are coming up on the moment here where we're actually going to be able to unlock the third item, which is the Magpie's Eye. It works just like the Magpie card. You use the item and you will be able to pick a card into your deck and put it in your hand. And there we go. We just unlocked it. That is what happens when you get the proper combination out. What I don't have here is other cards in the slots. Just so you know, if you're playing and you have any card in slot 2 or 3, this will still work as long as the cards that are in the oil painting are in the spots where they are shown in the painting. It'll work. So even if you have a card in slot 2 and slot 3, you'll still unlock the item if you have the Raven's Egg in slot 1 and the Moose Buck in slot 4. Based on our oil painting, it'll change every single run. So as I said, the Magpie's Eye allows you to pick a card out of your deck and put it in your hand and play it too, if you can make the sacrifice to play it. It gives you kind of an extra chance to play a card. So those are the 3 items, and you can unlock them in Casey's Mod. And once they are unlocked, they will forever be available as backpack items that you can obtain throughout every subsequent run. And once I put out, and there it is, there's the Magpie's Eye. Once I put out the Skullstorm video and trophy guide, you will see me use all 3 items throughout that run. Master Trinketeer is now ours, and now we have a few more items we can use in our arsenal to beat Casey's Mod 13 times with various challenges applied. I hope this helped. Take care.